They say the only thing we have to fear is fear itself, but those people probably weren't on Fear Factor getting their heads knocked around. Fear Factor rigorously tests its challenges with seasoned stunt professionals. But just because they know what they're doing, that doesn't mean that they're immune to injury. During one of these tests for a 2011 revival of the series, a safety mechanism didn't function correctly, which meant that a stunt performer leapt 6 stories from a building and landed on the ground. He hit the surface standing up, and the impact instantly broke the ankle bones in both of his feet. An additional safety device slowed down the descent so that it wasn't a free fall, but it wasn't completely effective as he still plummeted toward the ground. Medics jumped into action and the stuntman was rushed to a hospital. A producer later told TMZ, "Safety is our first priority, and because of that, we test these stunts repeatedly with trained stuntmen to ensure our contestants' well-being." In a 2002 Fear Factor segment titled Cod Stew, contestants were charged with sticking their hands into a vat of dead fish. They had to pick out an extra-large cod, dig around its insides, and procure a chip that would determine which disgusting part of the fish they'd have to eat. After digging around, a contestant named Nancy Lubenko ended up having to eat a cod's egg sac. Then, as the competition continued, she found herself in trouble.
Nancy, you okay?
Yeah, my hand's on fire.
Fear Factor medics then treated Lubenko for a skin issue related to a previously undiagnosed medical condition. As it turned out, she had a serious allergic reaction just from putting her hand inside the fish. She had no idea until that moment that she had such a severe allergy. With her arm bandaged, Lubenko then dropped out of the episode. That was probably for the best, because if she had gone through with eating the egg sac, she may have suffered an even worse reaction. Another segment from 2002 challenged contestants to remain on the back of an agitated bull for as long as possible. Kristen Beatty had to beat a time of 3.4 seconds to remain in the competition. Unsurprisingly, Beatty did in fact fall. She actually managed to hold on for more than 5 seconds, but then the bull threw her up and she violently landed on her back. She was briefly unable to move beyond writhing in pain as set medics treated her. Ultimately, though, she managed to get back on her feet with some assistance and neck support. Fear Factor was so popular in its heyday that the format ended up being franchised around the world, including a South African version that premiered on the ETV network in January 2006. And things got pretty hairy right from the very first episode. The contestants were dragged by a 4-wheel drive vehicle at high speeds across sand dunes. They wore protective gear, including padding on their joints and limbs, and they used a slide board but no helmet, as producers thought that could lead to a neck injury. But one contestant named Lebo ended up spending a week in the hospital recovering from injuries that included a concussion and serious bruising. Rona Poole, head of publicity for ETV, responded by essentially blaming Lebo. As she explained, because the point of the challenge was testing how long contestants could endure the drive, Lebo could have let go at any point that she was uncomfortable.
Guys, Fear Factor is extreme. One of our contestants, Lebo, has taken a hard knock.